Okay, I want to talk about something that's been happening in the entertainment industry as of late. Now, let me put it like this. Recently, characters have either been race swapped, gender swapped, or just out of character in general. Even had poor Japanese translations. But one issue that also happens is like a sexuality swap of something. Like a character who's established to be straight is made gay or bisexual for whatever reason. The four characters that I really noticed this with and got a little concerned about were Sally Acorn of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic books, Iceman from the X-Men comics, Harley Quinn from DC Comics, and Obi-Wan Kenobi of Star Wars fame. Now, we put it like this. When a character is made, that character has guidelines that need to be followed. If you're not following the guidelines, you're not writing the character the way the character is meant to be written. If you want to write a character whatever way, by that logic, make your own character. Don't take someone else's character and put your own spin on it because that's your way of saying this character's not good enough. So, if you do something like that, consider it like vandalizing an art piece, okay? Somebody made something and you want to screw it up somehow because you don't think it's good. It doesn't matter if you don't think it's good. Somebody else liked it. If you have a problem with something, just leave. That's it. Every character has a guideline. This is an issue I've noticed with Sonic where some fans are complaining about Sega's mandates. All Sega did was give the comic book writers rules about how characters need to act. I don't know why people think that's such a bad thing. Because if you're complaining that Sonic is, if you want to complain that they're not allowed to write Sonic as Sad AM style when they're trying to write Game Sonic, then you're not understanding Sonic. Game Sonic is not Sad AM Sonic. He's a Game Sonic is Game Sonic. Sad AM Sonic was written with a different personality. Back then, I guess their excuse was he didn't have an established personality. He did, but there was like a lot of issues between Sega of America and Sega Japan at the time. Point is, character guidelines are not a bad thing. Sadly, Iceman, Harley, and Obi-Wan all have their own rules. They were established by different writers who wanted their characters to be a certain way. Sally's character is written as leader of the Freedom Fighters and Sonic's girlfriend. Harley Quinn's character was one of the Joker's henchmen. Iceman's character is that he's one of the founding X-Men. He's a bit of a playboy. He's a flirt. Obi-Wan's character is that he's a mentor to Luke Skywalker. And I don't want to get into too many details right now because it's not what it's about. I'm going to just get into these characters themselves. So, Harley, let's start with her. Historically, she's always loved men. Have they been good men? No. Her main love interest is the Joker. The Joker is far from a good person. I mean, that's just her, though. I don't know, she just fell for the Joker because he got her on her side because Joker has that charisma. And it's not a good relationship. He mistreats her. But she made a friend with Poison Ivy, and they had good camaraderie. That's all Harley really needed, a good friend. So, but honestly, let's say she did hook up with Poison Ivy. Well, actually, I think she did, which was a retcon to her character. Hooking up with Poison Ivy is no better than the Joker. Poison Ivy's got issues herself. She values plant life over human life. Harley steps on a flower and Poison Ivy's probably ready to destroy her. So that's not a good person to be around either. I don't know what Poison Ivy has over the Joker, other than maybe that Poison Ivy's a little more sympathetic, maybe. But Harley's best friendship has always been with Batman, ironically, because he actually tries to treat her like a normal person. The next major character was Iceman from the X-Men. He's always been kind of a flirty character. He loves flirting with women. He likes to kiss women. Um, he once saw Firestar transforming alongside Spider-Man, while Spider-Man's focused on how cool she was. Iceman's like, "Oh, dude, I think I saw her naked. Awesome." He thinks about women all the time. So for them to come up with this story saying that he was closet and gay, or whatever you call it, why? What about him screamed gay? A man who flirts with women for like 40 years since he was introduced. It's been like that the whole time. A lot of media portrayed him as a heterosexual male, and all of a sudden he needs to be gay? Who wrote that idea? Who thought that was a good idea? That is not a good idea. Like, I don't even know where to begin with Bobby. He's always Uh, I mean, did they just want Johnny Storm to be the only Lord, or were they bored, or they just ran out of ideas? It was just so stupidly done. I can't imagine what's going to happen if he appears in the next season of X-Men 97, because I know X-Men 97 is loved by fans, but I got my own issues with it, especially how certain characters were written. I can't imagine what they'll do to Bobby in that show. If they keep him straight, then I will give them credibility for that. But other than I don't have any high hopes. Just taking the straightest character in Marvel and trying to turn him gay for an agenda is disrespectful. This is not what Stan Lee wanted for this character. He believes a character's established race, gender, and sexuality does not need to be changed. A quote from Stan Lee says, "I wouldn't mind if Peter Parker had originally been black, Latino, Indian, or anything else, and that he stayed that way. But we originally made him white. I don't see any reason to change that. It has nothing to do with being anti-gay, black, or anti-Latino, or stuff like that. Latino characters should stay Latino. The Black Panther certainly should not be Swiss. I just see no reason to change what was already been established when it's so easy to add new characters. I say create new characters the way you want to. Why don't more people do what Stan Lee suggested? Do they have they doubt their own creativity? Because if you don't think you can be creative with your own character, I don't know what makes you think you'll be successful with an established character. Seriously. Then you have Obi-Wan Kenobi, who's been misguided as of late, character-wise. I mean, he had that terrible Disney Plus show that pretty much ignored Star Wars canon. Now, he doesn't he doesn't have that much to do with this topic because the most is that a book tries claiming he was bisexual. I don't know why it needed to be added though, because even if it's a little thing, it could turn into something bigger. And Star Wars definitely has its own issues with this topic. Sally Acorn's a big one for me. Historically, she's been Sonic love interest, and has never shown any attraction to the other girls, at least before the Archie reboot. Come post reboot, apparently she's meant to be bisexual, even though it adds nothing to her character. It was never fully official, but it was treated as such. The writers wanted her to be bisexual. I don't think Sega wanted that because Sega's like, no, don't do that. Or I don't think Archie thought it was a good idea. Again, she's historically Sonic's girlfriend. Trying to make her bisexual for no reason doesn't do anything for her character. And maybe they forgot, but anytime any character's been paired with Sally that wasn't Sonic, it's been met with a discontent. No one really liked it. She should not need to be gay or bi, especially with Nicole the HoloLinks. Pretty sure when Nicole was created by Ben Hurst, the man who created SAT-EM, he did not intend for this computer that Sally carried around to be Sally's potential love interest. These two have always had a sisterly bond, even in the Archie comics. So I guess whoever wrote the comics at least understood that Ben Hurst probably just wanted a friendship, because I think his notes for season 3 said Nicole was originally Sally's childhood friend. That's all. That's all they needed to be. They've always had, like, if you read the comics, they have like a sisterly bond. They're always happy to see each other. They treat each other like family, and that's a great friendship. It's like Sonic and Tails, how they have like this brotherly bond. That's Sally and Nicole. So I don't really appreciate that some writers like Ian Flynn wanted Sally to be bisexual, probably even out of spite, for all we know. He was told you can't put Sally with Sonic, so yeah, put Sally with a character who's basically her sister. And I don't even know why. I can't even imagine what the point would be. What is he trying to accomplish? Is he trying to get people to dislike Nicole, like what happened with characters like Monkey Khan or whatever? Yeah, Nicole's already a good character. She's had her own history, but you're risking a lot, and there's people who really don't like this, and you're gonna ruin a good established friendship by forcing them to be gay. My issue is that some fans kind of believed it. There's a fan project called Sonic Villains, a fan film made about the Sonic multiverse. When I first heard of it, I thought it was a cool idea. I didn't like every single thing about it, and I have some gripes, including the fact that this is supposed to be a Sonic multiverse, but even then, I don't feel like the characters are all in character. If Game Sonic is meant to be as wacky as SAT-AM Sonic, then what's the point? Point is, Sonic Villains wants them to be in a relationship, and they claim that it was meant to be canon. It, Ian Flynn cannot decide what Sally's character is going to be. He did not create Sally. You really want the writers to be in charge of these characters again. Last time we had this issue, there was a big lawsuit that resulted in Archie getting rebooted in the first place. Ian Flynn just shows that he doesn't understand Sally, just like he does not understand Amy Rose or Shadow the Hedgehog, or even when he wrote the Mega Man comics, how those were kind of like bashed because those comics were just dragged on. It was almost like he didn't really know what he was doing. He was just following the games, I guess, but even then he had to like do his own thing. Like, and you can't even say that Sega would have been okay with Sally being with Nicole. They're not okay with Tangle and Whisper in the IDW comics. The writers want them to be canon. Sega says no, they're just friends, and they should just be friends. If them being gay was not part of their official bio, then you don't need to force them together just because fans want it. You could ship these characters if you want. I don't care. Just don't go around claiming them to be canon when they're not canon, and don't say, "Well, the writer said they were canon." Who cares what the writer said? These are not their characters. These are Sega's characters, but you want to spend your time bashing Sega, even though it's their characters and their rules. Don't complain because Sega wants their characters in character. Okay? Don't complain when Marvel wants their characters in character. At that point, that's just being selfish and stupid. Look, I don't have a problem with gay characters in media. The show The Owl House, the main character, Luce, is bisexual, and she gets a girlfriend named Amity. That was perfectly written. Okay, they had a nice relationship. Amity's a great character. She's confirmed to be a lesbian as part of her bio, and despite that, it's not even part of her core character. She's still her own character. She just happens to like girls. That's how you do it. Amphibia had like Sasha Waitbright, who was confirmed to be bisexual. There were a few hints in the show, and then right after the show ended, they had to confirm that yeah, she was bisexual. I don't think it was like a Dumbledore situation where he was confirmed to be gay long after the books ended. Sasha was confirmed to be bisexual right at the end of the series. I don't know if Anne or Marcy were gay or not. I don't care that much. People are going to ship whatever they want to ship, but these are characters that have established sexuality. Even Friends, the old TV show, handled this topic better than most media would nowadays. If you ship a gay character, if you ship a straight character in a gay relationship, or maybe vice versa, whatever. If you're doing like a fan fiction thing, fan art, you consider this a fanon in your head, that's fine. You could do that. Just don't claim that the character is actually gay in canon. Let me put it like this. I don't know who remembers Sesame Street, but there was a character named Zoe who wanted a pet who had like this pet rock, and she always told Elmo, "Hey, this is my pet Rocco. I want you to play with him." And she would treat him like a real person. I expect Elmo to treat him like a real person. And Elmo says, "But Zoe, Rocco's just a rock." You want to know what I'm getting with this? She has her game of pretend, and that's fine. But Elmo is not obligated to play her game of pretend. He could if he wants to, just to make her feel better, but if she goes too far with it, he has the right to tell her, "Rocco's just a rock." I'm not obligated to play your game of pretend. If you want to call Iceman gay or Sally bisexual, that's your thing. But don't claim it canon. Well, actually, I can't even say that because Marvel wanted Bobby to be gay in canon, but Sally, at least so far, is on that little teetering thing. Same thing with Tangle and Whisper. So as far as I'm concerned, none of those characters are officially gay. So don't try to say they're gay. I don't care what Ian Flynn said. I don't care. I care only what Ben Hurst probably wanted for Sally, and I don't think any of us know said she's gay. You want a good like with Sally? You want a good example of what a relationship with Nicole could have been? Check out Sonic Polaris. It's like a radio type thing that actually understands the relationship between Sally and Nicole, sisters. But yeah, I can't. I don't. I'm so worried about whatever Sonic Those is going to do. At least we also have Team Season 3 for Saturday. AM. Do not like when straight characters are retconned to being gay to fit in the type of agenda. I mean, even if it's something minor, that's not okay. Uh, but you know what? It's like characters who hug each other of the same sex is not always equal gay. They probably thought Sally was gay because she hugs Nicole a lot. If you watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, Katara's had a scene where she's hugging Toph. Does that make either of them gay? No. You could, even though it's an affectionate hug, you could tell it's a sisterly thing. I've seen a show called My Coolest First Friend. the main character, Akane Nishimura, she clearly has a crush on a boy, and there have been scenes where she's seen hugging or getting intimately close with some other girls. Anyone on the outside could say, "Oh, she's gay for these girls." She's not. She's just shy around affection. But you could tell that anyone who's paying attention to the show could tell it's just a friendly hug. I don't care if these characters are blushing or not. It's not meant to be anything more than a simple hug. So that's the thing with Sonic fans. Sometimes they see these characters interacting. They're like, "Oh, they must be gay," especially after Sonic Prime and Sonic and Shadow. I don't know. And considering the state of the media nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised if there are people who generally thought that, and it's sad. Whatever. That's all I had to say. If you agree with me, that's fine. If you don't agree with me, I don't know what to tell you. It's not my problem. I'm out. See ya.